Namaste. In a vibrant classroom filled with students from across Southeast Asia, an unexpected truth became clear. English fluency had little to do with grammar or vocabulary. While many students, armed with thick textbooks and years of study, struggled, their hands trembling and voices trailing off mid-sentence, the real difference lay in attitude. One student, Faisal, a factory supervisor with what he called market English, stood out. Despite his limited vocabulary, he communicated with a calm, clear confidence that was magnetic. He listened attentively, his eyes never leaving the speaker. He responded thoughtfully, using gestures, simple analogies, and a smile that never faltered. His secret was focus, an unwavering attention on the person he was speaking to and the result he wanted to achieve, rather than an internal monologue of worry over mistakes. This pattern mirrored experiences far from the language classroom, like in learning music. Imagine a young girl, reluctantly practicing piano, approaching each lesson with a palpable sense of dread. For her, success was measured not by the music she created, but by the errors she avoided. Every wrong note was a tiny failure, leaving her anxious and self-critical. The joy was gone, lost in a sea of self-doubt. Similarly, many approached English conversations as a performance, fearful of judgment from an invisible audience, preoccupied with being perfect. Both the girl and the language learner understood the ideal, the flawless piano concerto, the perfect English sentence, and both felt crushed by their own inadequacy. Yet some, like Faisal, approached learning differently. They immersed themselves fully in the process, unconcerned with errors, much like a gamer completely engrossed in a video game mission. To a gamer, a mistake isn't a failure, it's data. It's a lesson on how to beat the level. They don't mourn a lost life. They learn the pattern, adapt their strategy, and jump right back in, eyes fixed on the goal. For them, mistakes were simply irrelevant. The mission mattered. A real-world example revealed this vividly. In a bustling pharmacy, two clerks faced a tourist's urgent question about children's allergy supplements. The first, a recent linguistics graduate, spoke flawless, grammatically perfect English. But he was so concerned about conveying every detail correctly that his explanation became a web of complex medical terms. The tourist's face grew more confused with each passing second. Then, the other clerk, whose English was far more basic, stepped in. He listened, then picked up the box, pointed to the dosage symbol, and said simply, "For child, this one. 1 spoon after food, safe." He gave a reassuring nod. The problem was solved in seconds. Effectiveness came not from perfection, but from clarity and focus. This small interaction reflects a massive global shift. In today's world, the vast majority of English conversations occur between non-native speakers. English is no longer an art to be mastered, owned by a select few countries. It is a functional, universal tool to achieve results, to connect, to solve problems. The goal is no longer to sound like a native speaker, but to be understood by a colleague in Tokyo, a client in Dubai, or a new friend in Rio. The key lies in a radical shift in focus, from self to other. From internal anxiety to external connection. By practicing this approach, your listening improves tenfold because you're no longer planning your next sentence. Words flow more naturally because you're responding in the moment. Something incredible happens in your brain. It stops the frantic multitasking of speaking, translating, and judging your accent all at once. Your mind enters a state of flow, fully present and engaged. So, treat it like a game. Your mission is not to achieve a high score in grammar, but to understand and be understood. English becomes a tool, not a test. A bridge, not a barrier, and in doing so, you unlock the ability to express yourself fully, effectively, and without fear.